You know, I think that, I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong, you guys, but there is a difference between prison and jail. Okay, there's a difference between prison and jail. So when you say PDD's comfortable life in prison, what special privileges does Sean Combs have in the detention center? It's actually a little bit misleading, you guys, because Diddy is not in prison, and I don't think he has ever been in prison. He is in jail. He's in a detention center in Brooklyn, so it's like a city jail, it's a federal jail, okay? It's a federal detention center. It is not a federal prison. There's a very big difference, to my understanding. Do correct me if I'm wrong if you are an expert in the field, because I'm not. But I think there's a very, very big difference between a prison and a jail. So the jail, I think, is more for pre-trial or pre-conviction. So you would keep someone in a jail. It's kind of short term. You're not expected to spend your life in jail, for example. You are you can spend your life in prison, if that makes sense, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm sure I have also used the term prison at some point, and then I realized, wait a minute, I need to correct that because um my recollection is that there is a difference, and a very big difference, between a jail and a prison. Again, the jail is for short term detention while you're waiting for your trial to see whether you are convicted or acquitted, right? And I mean, you can be in a jail for more than a year, I would think, right? As you wait for, I mean, look, there's something called a speedy trial. And, you know, typically you're not going to be in jail for over a year because typically, depending on what you're charged with, the prosecution has to bring the case anywhere between 3 months and 6 months after you have been arraigned, indicted, and detained if you indeed you have been detained in a jail. So typically you're not really supposed to spend more than a year in a jail anyway. I don't think most people do. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that once when your first entry into the system of, you know, detention would be a jail. It's a city jail, it's the county jail, or it's a federal or state detention center, right? And you're there until your trial. And after your trial, there's a verdict, whether you are guilty or whether you are acquitted. If you are acquitted, you go home. If you are guilty, you are then transferred to a jail. So I just wanted to say that, but again, take it with a pinch of salt and do your own research. I think that there is a big difference between a jail and prison. Okay, now it says here that his experience in prison appears to be significantly different from the average inmate. Okay, so what does that even mean? So, according to multiple sources, he's receiving special privileges that have raised eyebrows both inside and outside prison walls. One of the most notable privileges is his access to more frequent showers. While most inmates are limited to a few showers per week, he can enjoy a daily shower, a luxury that significantly enhances his comfort and hygiene. Hmm. Additionally, the quality of food he receives is said to be superior to the standard prison fare, offering him a more palatable and nutritious diet. Combs is also being held in a special protection unit designed for high profile defendants. It's also keeps out his bar, doesn't it? So this unit, you know, it's to prevent any harm that might come his way. Um, Pretty much. Okay, so it says here, not all celebrity inmates receive special privileges, but it is not uncommon for high profile individuals to experience different treatment compared to the general population. Some wealthy inmates can pay for better accommodations in certain facilities. These programs, also known as self pay jails, offer amenities like private cells, access to electronics, and even the ability to bring in personal food. Wow. What do I think about that? Um, well, let's see. It says here, in some cases, high-profile inmates may be moved to honor dorms, which come with additional privileges, such as access to washers, dryers, and microwaves. Wow. These privileges, however, have not come without controversy. They're saying that it's unfair and that it is, you know, indicative of favoritism. And they say that all inmates should be treated equally regardless of their social status or fame. I am inclined to agree with that because it says here some wealthy inmates can pay for better accommodations in certain facilities. I mean, that is outrageous, I think, because it means that if you're poor, you're punished more, perhaps for the same crime as someone who is rich, who committed the same crime as you, but they're getting to have all of these privileges as if they're in a spa while you're in jail or in prison. Sorry about that. You're in prison. Well, it depends because, you could be in jail waiting to go to prison, but you still have a better setup than someone who's poor. You're in, you're Diddy, so you can pay to have all these amenities. You can have your laptop, you can be following on YouTube, you can be, you can get personal food brought in from your personal chef. It's as if you're not even in jail. But the thing about jails, though, the only thing about the jail system, obviously, as I said, it is designed to house people who are detained while they wait for their trial. And some people who are detained are actually innocent. Now, I'm not saying Puffy is innocent, obviously, right? I'm saying that I have not seen any of the evidence. I hear a lot of gossip. I hear a lot of gossip. I hear a lot of hearsay. I hear a lot of speculation, right? Yes, the indictment is in the public sphere, and some people have read it. I have not. So I don't know what the prosecutors included in their indictment as far as evidence. I know they are going to make certain assertions about what he did. And in order to get him to be detained in jail pending the outcome of his case, yes, they had to give the judge some reason to do that. And so they presented certain electronic evidence that they say goes to his conduct, to his guilt, and so on and so forth. None of that has been subject to cross examination, right? None of that has really been subject to scrutiny by observers, by the jury, and so on and so forth. And it's only sort of one side of the story, right? Now, I mean, if there was a countervailing side to this story, why didn't his lawyers present it during the bond hearing or bail hearing, I should say, so that the judge could release him pending the outcome of the trial. I don't really know. I mean, if they said, well, the prosecution said we have evidence that he contacted X, Y, and Z, who is a potential witness in this case, and the judge used that as a reason to detain him pending the outcome of the case, you have to wonder, why didn't his lawyers have a good explanation of why he contacted this person? But that all being said, the fact that he contacted one of the witnesses still does not prove that he is a racketeer who was involved with others in a conspiracy, because a racketeer or racketeering is a conspiracy, right, to commit wrongdoing, crimes, like really bad crimes, for a commercial profit, right? So the fact that he called one of the witnesses doesn't mean that he actually was in a conspiracy with this witness, or that this witness has any proof that he was in a conspiracy with anybody else. Notably, no one else has been arrested, at least not as of today, in this case. And if you have a conspiracy, you need to have more than one person. That's number one. So the point being that you can be in jail, you can be in a detention center, detained pending the outcome of a trial, and be innocent, even when you're Puff Daddy, Diddy, innocent of the actual charges, not innocent as a human. This is not an innocent man in the sense that, the lifestyle he led was pretty serious. I mean, it's like, whoa, wow, 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 right? Um, but there's a difference between that and being guilty of a federal crime like racketeering. And so the point being that because you're innocent until you're proven guilty, for all intents and purposes, this man is still innocent, quote unquote. And so the fact that in jail, he's getting to take a shower every day, and he's getting to eat food that is palatable to him, and he's getting to have his cell phone or his laptops, um, is not something that really bothers me so much, only insofar as other inmates similarly positioned. And who's going to be similarly positioned to this particular defendant for a charge like racketeering and trafficking and all the others? I don't even know. I don't even know. But there are other detainees who are currently in this institution who apparently do not have the same perks, right? Because they don't have money and they don't have fame. I think that's unfair, I must say. I think that's unfair. I think anybody who is in a situation where they have been arrested, they are detained, but they have not been adjudicated guilty of what they have been accused of should have certain basic rights, like a daily shower. I don't have a problem with that. They are not yet adjudicated guilty. Why do you not have a daily shower? Why are you treating me as if I am guilty, as if I'm the criminal that I'm accused of, when I have not yet faced my accusers? I have not yet presented my evidence. You have not yet presented yours. You have not proven me guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Why should I therefore not be able to shower every day or use my cell phone just based on your accusations, right? So for all of the people in this situation, I say they all should have the same perks. Just I don't have a problem with Diddy having these particular perks, like showering every day, etc. But I do think everybody similarly in a jail setting, not a prison setting, a jail setting, should have the same as well, no matter how much money they have, and no matter that they are not famous like Sean Diddy Combs. That's all for this one. See you in the next one. Take care. Bye.